be a sensitive topic for some of you, and it might not be even cool for some of you to listen to, so whatever, I'll see you next week. But there's been some stuff going on this week that I feel like I wanted to talk about a little bit. We haven't been in the bedroom for a little bit also, so I feel like doing a little rant video would be perfect for our bedtime activities. You might be seeing Jack in a minute. He looks like he wants some attention. But anyway, I wanted to kind of rant a little bit to you guys. So some of you know, most of you probably know, but Mac Miller died. He was a musical artist in the rap community. I'm not super familiar with his work just because that's not my style of music, but he recently passed away from a drug overdose. And there's been lots of hype about it because he was so young. And drugs are really prevalent right now. There's an opioid crisis in America and stuff. And so everybody's freaking out because he passed away from a drug overdose, and Demi Lovato just recently overdosed as well. And everybody decided to blame his ex-girlfriend Ariana Grande about it, which you all know, well, some of you know that I don't really care for her, but that doesn't matter because I don't think it's appropriate that she's getting blamed for his overdose because he's his own person, and you know, she's an independent person as well, and I don't think it's okay to blame others for other people's, like, that just is not okay. So Christian and I just had a rant about it, kind of, and so I thought I'd re-rant to you a little bit. It's just stupid because I was scrolling through all the social medias and stuff the past weekend and just going through, like, after his death and stuff, everybody's freaking out and blaming her, and then everybody else is trying to invade his family's privacy and all this stuff, and it's just not okay, you guys. Like, the internet is a stupid place most of the time. Like, I love the internet, but it's also just awful because everybody's like, oh, well, I'm brave on the internet, but I can't, like, face people in real life because I'm a weenie, actually. So I just think it's dumb that the facade people put on. So all you people bashing Ariana or his family or just even him, even though he's deceased now, for all these issues is just stupid, and that needs to stop because mental illness is a real thing, addiction is a real thing, and just all this stuff that people don't really understand is a serious issue, okay? A lot of people that are really close to me, that are in my really tight personal circle, struggle with mental illness every single day, and it's really hard. And like, even just from my perspective as a friend and a close loved one, it's really hard. So I can't even imagine what it would be like to suffer from these things. And suffer is the right term. It's super difficult to handle, okay? So, yeah. Bobby Tarantino, or Logic as some of you know him, he's really famous and popular and super cool. I really like Logic. Made a video, you can find it on Twitter, and I'm sure it's on other places, but made a video honoring the good side of Mac Miller, okay? It's about just him being happy and smiling, and it's got one of his songs in the background, and it's super pretty, because that's what we should be remembering is, you know, the good things about his life, and not him having to deal with his addiction and his mental illness and stuff. And then he posts all the numbers of the suicide hotline and the mental illness hotline and the addiction recovery stuff. So I just feel like it's stupid that people are so two-sided that, oh yeah, drugs and addiction, blah, 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 and then they're like, oh, well, you know, it was Ariana's fault when she's got her own things to deal with. They were in a relationship for like 2 years, and she had to leave because he couldn't sober up or whatever, and that's fine. She was the bigger person on her end and decided, hey, this isn't good for me to be in this relationship because it's not healthy for me. And, you know, she's not in charge of his well-being. He's was his own person, and she's her own person. And I just think it's stupid that people are blaming her for this. And then for the Demi Lovato thing, oh, well, she's such a stupid woman. She should be responsible and in charge of all this stuff. And then Mac Miller does the same thing, and then they blame Ariana instead of Mac Miller, even though it was his choice. And she, you know, she was not the one injecting the drugs in his body and all this stuff. But we just need to be a little bit more conscientious and aware that addiction is a real thing and mental illness is a real thing. So I'm going to post the numbers at the end of the video if you are struggling with any of these things, that, you know, you can get the help that you need. But I think having the life of a celebrity is also really difficult. because, you know, you're constantly in the spotlight. It's hard to be constantly criticized by people you know, people you don't know, people you see for 2 seconds. You know, people find one thing wrong with you and blow it up all over the place, or they, you know, see you at a show or something, or, you know, whatever, and all this stuff happens. So it can be really hard on you, okay? And especially with mental illness, I feel like it's amplified. So we just need to be aware of everyone as a human, and we all just need to be more loving of each other. And I've been saying that for a long time. It's kind of one of my fatal flaws, I feel like, is loving people too much and loving everyone, which that sounds vain, but like, it's really hard for me to not love people. And it doesn't matter, like, I don't know, I was kind of talked to as a younger person about it, like, hey, no, you know, it's okay to judge people because blah, blah, blah. But it's not. I don't care if you have tattoos or piercings. I have multiple piercings. Or, you know, they do drugs, or they don't go to church, or, you know, whatever. I don't care. I love a lot of people, no matter what. So we just need to be aware that all these things are real, and people don't just make stuff up. And we need to make sure that we're getting help if we need it, and not blaming other people for our own problems. So even if you don't like a person, you should not be blaming them for things. I was doing some research. Ariana Grande's had a hard life too, and so it's just extra not fair to be blaming her for someone else's, you know, ended up being his death. So that's just not appropriate. So while this isn't a super literate and like eloquent video, I just needed to talk to you guys for a second about that. It's just, the world we live in is stupid, and we need to be aware of lots of things that we're not aware of, and just promote love and get help if we need it, and just take care of each other, because there's lots of crap that, you know, goes on. We just need to be there for each other. So if you guys need anything, I'm here for you, and I'm here to support you. So just in memory of Mac Miller, also respect his family and stuff too, because that would be super hard. I had an uncle that overdosed. I wasn't like super tight with him or anything, but you know, it's a real thing. I had to like semi-understand that. As I think I was like 9 when he overdosed, and I didn't understand at the time because I was still super sheltered in my little box. I was just like, oh, he did drugs and he died. But like, I mean, I don't know what could have happened that caused him to do that. So we just need to love each other, you guys, and quit blaming other people and being douchebags on the internet. Okay, just love each other. Get help if you need it, please, and then just don't be a douchebag on the internet, basically. Okay, we're gonna have happy videos next week because sister is coming. We're gonna make some vlogs, probably eat lots of junk food. If you have any other suggestions, let me know. But please make sure that you're getting help. Don't be a douche. That's about it. Okay, I'm done being redundant. Bye, guys.